So a few more examples of egg tempera in my sketchbook, and one of the reasons it's really nice is it doesn't buckle the surface of the paper the way it does if you work with watercolour or gouache. The water makes the paper dry with a warp in it, but it dries completely flat. The way the egg yolk sits on the surface, it dries completely flat. Because I'm painting with this quite strong pigment, it is going through to the other side of the paper. So you have to be a little bit aware of that if you've got drawings on both sides. But I really like it as a way to create a kind of painterly sketchbook. You know, it's so nice to have a sketchbook of drawings, but actually there's something really satisfying about treating each page like a miniature painting. This one's unfinished. I'll keep working into this. And the surface of it is actually almost like an oil painting in the sketchbook itself. Again, I'll probably keep working into this one. I don't know if you can see the surface, but it dries with a kind of particular sheen that is very particular to egg tempera. And I also like using it for slightly more scrappier drawings where I'm testing out colours and, you know, start something as a pencil drawing and then work into it with the egg tempera and see what happens. This is egg tempera again, and you know, here's an example of a pencil drawing that I made a second version of, and then I've painted into with the egg tempera, and it's become a larger painting. So the sketchbook becomes a kind of testing ground for larger paintings. In that sense, it becomes somewhere to test out almost the quality of oil paint, if you think about the potential of oil paint for glazing and layering up of colour. Egg tempera has got some similarities, and in the sketchbook it's a really nice parallel for that. Obviously you couldn't use oil paint in the sketchbook in this way. You can draw back into it a bit, but you'll find that it's created a kind of a sort of sheen across the surface, so it's quite easy to almost scratch it away too much. It doesn't seem to take kind of layer upon layer of pencil after a certain point when the kind of surface is built up to be so thick. I don't know if you can see, but it's almost like it's kind of gouging into that surface there. That's quite an interesting mark to work with, but there's probably a point at which you'd start kind of cracking it off. Now, you know, it's obviously important to remember that egg tempera is not really for this way of working. This wouldn't maybe last for like years and years, but I've been doing it for over a decade, and all of the drawings are still intact in the sketchbooks. But if you put it on really thick, you know you'll put it on too thick, because when you turn the page or bend the page, it'll crack off. Whereas you can see this is still at the point where it's thinly enough applied that it stays kind of firmly on the surface of the paper.